Can you be DDoSed by something else, like being on AIM or something like that?
If you do something like a direct connect, then they can get your IP. If somebody is hosting a web forum and you post something that they don't like, then they're running it, they can find your IP that way. There are other ways other than IRC, but IRC makes it easy. That's all. Anything else? Anybody? I'm sorry?
CI host?
CI host?
Was that the Polo?
No. It was not Towardex based out of Boston. Nope. So on the flip side, let's take a look at some of the recent attacks against me. First, it was a hostile takeover of an IRC server. And then it was another IRC server. And then it was a shell server that people IRC from over and over and over again. So on one hand, this policy might be bullshit. That's ridiculous, blaming the victim, not okay. But on the other hand, unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it, and it does happen because of IRC. And if you're put in the situation of having to defend it, it gets very hard. And in my case, my IRC server that I run has a total of about 20 users, who most of which know each other in person, and it's not attracting any DDoS stuff at all. But when it comes down to you can get shut off for being on IRC as a client and getting DDoSed, then what next? Web pages, forums, whatever. It sucks, but unfortunately IRC does perpetuate this problem. So what do you do? And the first thing you need to do is break this blame the victim mentality. It's not okay, and you will completely get screwed if you take whatever they say blindly. So what you have to do is make it sure that you're not to blame for being the target of the attack, even if you are using IRC. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that somebody else decided to be a stupid asshole and DDoS you. And if you know what the technical solution to your problem is, request it precisely. Don't ask for them to do something about it. Say very specifically, for example, when I was getting attacked, I said, please null route all traffic from this IP block, which is where the attack traffic is coming from, to this IP on this port. And they said, okay. And rather than losing complete connectivity, I lost web access from AT&T. And that was it, because I knew what to ask for. And know the terms of your contract and service agreement. If you know what your rights are, then you have a much greater bargaining point, and you won't fall into the same trap as me, where I didn't realize that I can get terminated for being an IRC client. Know what your rights are. So to summarize, normal person plus anonymity plus audience equals total fuckwad. Penny Arcade noticed this and put it very eloquently, better than I can summarize. The technical solutions don't work because not enough people are scanning for these denial of service attacks. The technical solutions won't work, and you have to block it on the attacker, the defending side, which basically means you can't do anything about it. And if you try to get in touch with your ISP, they hate you because you're not worth it. So there's no simple way of how to do this. And unfortunately, this is a social problem, and I hate saying this, but threatening to kick somebody's ass works significantly better than buying a $100,000 DDoS mitigation device and putting it in a colo and hoping that it does what it says it will do. So a new solution needs to be come up with, and we're stuck in this point where it's not there yet, and the attackers are still winning. So that's it. Any questions? Is anonymous IRC possible? Yes.
So would this be a partial solution to the problem?
It would be a partial solution, but there are still other tricks that you can do, like this web trick of downloading a file or tricking somebody into doing a direct connect on AIM or something like that. You shouldn't blame the technology that gives up the info. Like it's
something that makes it harder.
It makes it harder, but it's not a solution. Anybody else? All right, well, thank you for your time. block a complete range of ports that can be used for legitimate use, it really doesn't help much.
Like if you use